It is welcome to day 2 and welcome to the nutritional application of the 21-day challenge. This is your window of eating challenge, or how I like to call it, the Better 40 Metabolic Flex Fasting Nutrition Strategy. Okay, so this is going to be about, we're going to really, and why I call it the way instead of saying just merely fasting, is because I want to make you understand that there is going to be two components. One is going to be metabolic flexibility, and the other is going to be a window of eating, right? We're going to speed up the ability for your body to lose weight or lose fat. Now, why it is important is because, well, simply put, if you see results quickly, you get motivation and you stay motivated, and for some of you, it's going to kickstart results. And I said this in the kickoff call, any diet should work. If it doesn't work, then it's because the body is not ready. And if it does work and it doesn't work effectively, it's because you're not really able to either know what to do, you don't understand calorie deficit, you're not able to make this calorie deficit, or you're not able to sustain it. You go up and down. You do well in the week, and then on the weekend you eat more. You think you're eating little, but then you don't really eat little. You think you're eating healthy, but healthy doesn't mean weight loss. Like maybe you're eating, if you ate some more dirty food, it would be easier to actually maintain the weight loss for so many things, right? And all the diets work on the same premise, a calorie deficit, either keto, intermittent fasting, or vegan, or whatever, right? So today we're talking about how to make this protocol work for you, right? And one more time, I'll touch multiple times in this. I said it, if you win this challenge, and there's going to be a winner, and I'm going to try to make more than one winner, or better say, to give most people that actually do the challenge the opportunity to be a winner. It's going to be much easier to do when you actually implement the things correctly, right? So some of these things I'm gonna try to do my best to give it as a framework for you. You can do on your own. But in all fairness, I said on the kickoff call, if you want to be serious about this, you want to be signing up for VIP so that we can actually work together as a group in this protocol, and which of course is not easy. Like I said, it's not easy because there are so many moving parts, and we'll see it today why. Today, we're going to leverage AI to really do three things: to establish your calorie deficit, to see how is that going to work for you, to establish meal frequency, so whether you're going to eat once, twice, or 3 times a day. I suggest 1 or twice if you really want to do a fasting. As I mentioned, there is so many ways to do fasting, but I highly disregard when you're over 40, because any diet put body at stress, and if the body cannot lose weight or keep it off, is because the stress is bigger than the benefit, right? And therefore, that means like, unless you are over 35-40% body fat, I would not fast for 1 day or 1 or 2 days. But if you were to do that, and again, I can only give you this advice over here, because again, any other advice needs to be on a one-to-one basis. I cannot just throw out an advice without knowing your situation. But if you were to fast for 1 day, for example, then I highly suggest that you stay hydrated, you take electrolytes, potassium and sodium bicarbonate, and of course keep the sodium also high, not low like everybody's saying, because that's gonna make sure that you don't get headache and all that stuff. Again, it's a protocol that you want to be asking me if you want to do it like that. What I like to say that the metabolic flex diet, it's because I like to create a window of eating, but something that's very sustainable for you, something that's actually going to be good for you. And I'm going to show you with the leverage with AI how you can make up your own thing. If we do this together in the VIP, not only I'm going to do this with you, but I'm also going to give you meal plans that I'm going to show you how to track, or I'm going to show you I'm going to take any nutritional protocol, any strategical protocol of a nutrition, because the nutrition component is going to be window of eating, right? But we're also going to throw in their timing, which is important, per se, when you're going to eat. And also, we're going to teach your body to be flexible metabolically. We're going to teach either to burn sugar, or we're going to teach either to burn fat, the two things, right? Now, this is basically how it's supposed to be done. You take this number, which you calculated the other day, yesterday, right? Let's say 2,300 calories. Then you download something that is called ChatGPT. I'm assuming that you know it by now, but this is an exercise I did with my own. Let's say that I had my TDEE 500 calories, and I want to lose 5 kilo in between 21 days. What should I do? Now, I want to give you some perspective. Some of you are going to go crazy and I'm going to lose 10 kilo in 21 days. That's not possible. Like, that's not possible to do it effectively and not feel bad about it. The higher you are, you want to be going with an extreme deficit, yeah? So it's like, you can go, I would not go extremely aggressive, but the higher you are, then you can go with 25, 30% cut. The lower you are, let's say you are somebody just like 30 and you want to go to 25 or 20, which is 5 kilos, then you basically probably could go not with 10 because they're going to be conservative, and maybe with 20, 25, but not more than that. That's what I suggest. Okay. Now, this is going to be where the heart come in, right? So you're just going to go in ChatGPT and you're going to ask, my TDEE, and I'm going to copy it right now, is 2,300 calorie, right? I want to lose 5 kilo in 21 days, what the calorie should be. Okay, you can do this. Yeah, it's going to speed out this thing. It's going to tell you that in 1 kilo of fat, there is 7,000 calorie, and then you should be eating an average of 1,800 calorie. You can also say, what about if I want a 30% calorie cut, which you're not telling how much you want to be losing, but you're asking him, what should I actually, so if I want to go more aggressive, what should I be eating? 1,600, right? So let's say we're going with 1,600. Now we take, and I'm going to do this math. You can do this math on your own. You do this 1,600 calories times 7, and you know that is 1,100,000 calorie. Compare against the amount that it was 1,600 calories, which it makes sense, right? Like we basically, and again, that's why I don't want you to really look at the weight. I just want you to actually choose what you going by. Either, yeah, you can say I want to lose 5 kilos, but mostly it's either one or the other. This is where the art comes in. You can, like now, you got your calorie deficit, 1,600 per day. But in real life, there are going to be some days you're going out that you're going to have 2,000 calories. There are going to be some days that you're going not to be hungry enough. You can eat 1,200 calories. It's the average. An average is like 11,000 calories, right? Now, I'm showing you this because this, and again, I don't want to seem salesy or pushy or whatever, but it's very fucking hard to do this on your own because it takes experience to know how to slash this stuff out. You can potentially, and I show you this. This is actually coming from our challenge, the holiday challenge. And again, this slide says that 20 days of 500 calorie are very hard to sustain because some days you're going to go 1,500, some days you're going to go 2,000, then 1,900, then 21, then 3,000, whatever, right? We know real life works like that. But I want to give you perspective. You want to be able to, the difference between, this is a 1,500 calorie. 1,500 calorie Thanksgiving looks like this. You can eat some piece of cake, whatever. Let's say you choose this, right? 14,500 calorie, it's like 500 in the morning, 2,000 in lunch, and then 5,000. This is like a Thanksgiving thing. If instead you'd said, I'm just going to do 500 in the morning, 1,000 at lunch, and you skip dinner, then the same amount, in the same day, you basically created almost 1,000 calorie difference. Now, you could potentially do that, but understand that if you fast throughout the day and then in the night you smash yourself and you hit 2,000 calorie, or 1,600 in this case, you didn't create a deficit for that day. So I highly suggest that if you actually want to do this properly, we work together for this 21 days, and actually we fix this deficit. We say, okay, for you that you go to work, and I'm going to make an example now. You go to work, you need breakfast, you might not be able to have lunch, you can skip it. In the night, you have something light. Okay, you're gonna have this type of thing in the breakfast, carb-centric. You're gonna have this protein-centric, whatever, in the night. And in the day, this works like this. This works like this for that week. Then in the weekend, you can allow yourself to have 25,000 calories. In the week, you're gonna stay between 12 and 1,500, for example, right? And this is a very conservative example, but you need to nail the energy level part. You need to nail the calorie part. If you don't nail that, everything is going to be useless that I'm going to say in this video. Yeah, everything else. Provided you do that, because again, you can take 1600 all the time, you can take whatever, but then you need to know that you're eating those. Like, so it's gonna come in a source of, you need to know that you're actually eating that number. You can track the food, and again, you know, we have websites that shows you how to do that. You can we create recipe for you if you're a client right now, like, you know, that's a thing. I can show you PDF with protein recipe, whatever you want. You can learn intuitive eating, how to do that, which I'm going to show you in this video now. But basically, this is basically the component of what you should be doing. You want to nail that deficit. Nobody can, per se, every single day, 1600. It's going to be something more like you want to create a deficit when you can 1200, then you can, in the weekend, you want to have some wine, 2000, whatever. You need to have that down. Yeah. Welcome to try on this for 20 days, and then you see what it works. But if you come back to the measurements we took yesterday in 20 days and they're the same, chances are you'll mess this part up. Yeah. Now, what are the second thing that is important, which is more important, which is like, not more important this, but like the second thing which is important, timing and metabolic flexibility. Okay, metabolic flexibility. Now, timing. Most people make people fast skipping breakfast or lunch. Study shows that the opposite works better. If you front load your calorie in the day as you work, as you have a life, as you work out, you will be able to get at night, maybe with some hunger, whatever, but you will be able to have a better body composition. So what I did for 3 days, and I tested this out, I love burgers. I went to McDonald's for 3 days. My breakfast, which sometimes I wake up really late, I had a Big Mac meal, whatever. And again, this shows that you don't need to eat clean either. You have this, you walk, you work out, whatever you want, you get to the night and you have a very light protein with vegetable kind of thing. Yeah, you can even have your diet Coke if you want. And then at the end of the day, in body composition and on the weight, it shows that I lost about 3 kilos in about 4 days. So without even doing anything, compared to what I was doing before, sometimes I skip breakfast, I get into the night, I smash myself into the night, the body goes to sleep and it doesn't really process that food very well. And if it's the same calorie, that's the crazy part. You can debate science, but you cannot debate empirical. Like if you do it and then it shows you that it works for you, it works. Yeah. So you need to try, of course. But I highly suggest, and one more time, you can post in the group. I'll try to give you advice, but I highly suggest we get specific on whether you want to use a front load calorie or like that, back load. But I highly suggest you try to do the front load part. You either have breakfast and lunch, or you either have one big meal that time, and then you try to be very light in dinner, okay? This can be a situation as well. I would highly suggest that you eat at least twice initially. Like you can try if you're very overweight to do only one meal, but I would highly suggest at least twice. And again, you can start with breakfast and then something light in the dinner, 500 calorie, or you can, and as you get better, you move to get this meal very close by. It's like, it's either going to be breakfast towards lunch, and then it's going to be maybe 4 o'clock or 7 o'clock. You always want to shrink the dinner down. This is going to help, in my opinion. Yeah, you want to be This is what been successful for ladies over 40 that can handle pressure less well than before. So 2 things we must do. We must teach your body to be a sugar burner or a fat burner. You can only burn one or the other. If you have insulin resistant, and you would know because you take one of these, and this shows anywhere from 5 to 6.2. If your diabetes is going to show 7, which is millimoles by deciliter of blood, the sugar in the blood, then if you're any more than 4.8, then chances are you are mildly insulin resistant. It's not a disease. It's not the chronic disease that you hear about. It's not metabolic syndrome. It's just your body has lost the ability to process. Many people tell me, hey, I don't want to eat carbs because I'm going to store it. I'm going to become diabetic. And then I say, okay, why don't you want to, what don't you want to eat? Hey, donuts. I mean, you don't really realize that donuts, it's full of calories, it's full of fat and a little bit of carbs. It's not really carbs. It's just like you want to have a very sugar-centric or carb-centric, starch-centric thing towards the day. You don't want to be eating so much. You don't want to be mixing sugar and fat, basically. You want to be eating that for breakfast. It could be oatmeal, it could be fruit, it could be some almond milk if you want to really do that. But you also want to understand that while your body should learn that, while this is basically the opposite everybody tells you. It's like everybody tells you diet, 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 diet. And I say, diet for 3 months, get some results. Let's see what your body can let go of. And this is come back to what I said yesterday. You don't want to go 30 kilo in once if your body can't. Do your best to create a deficit you can sustain. Let's see how much you lose. If the body only can lose 6, 7 kilos, consolidate that, then maintain. When you're maintaining, then you're eating all the food that you like. You're eating, you know, the breakfast, the porridge, all that stuff. When you cut, just get yourself uncomfortable a little bit. Eat the things that you're not, sometimes it's hard eating. You know, eat the, you can have your pub, like your diet pub, what you want. Get some dates, get some whatever, hot meal, but don't, you know, hot meal and nuts and milk, and like you mixing everything up, you mix in fat, you mix in sugar. Your body doesn't understand shit like that. You need to show him, I'm gonna give you sugar right now. We burn the sugar because we're gonna go work out. And then in the evening, I'm gonna give you some protein and vegetable. And lean meats either, not fat stuff. Yeah, you either go with lean meats or you go with a keto kind of approach, meaning like fat, mostly fat. So teaching your body to burn fat. Essentially, if you have one of those, and if you take it today, and I had diabetic people of 60 years old get with this kind of nutrition to go back to regular readings. Crazy, right? It sounds like, because the calorie deficit is an important part, and teaching the body what to burn is the important part. If you have vegan or vegetarian people, it's 50, 60% of carb, fruit or juices, whatever. Yet they lose weight. Yet they whatever, right? And I'm not pushing vegetarian or vegan. I'm just saying like perspective, like giving you a perspective view. What should we want to do next? Now, go back to ChatGPT, and I'll go back myself. Now, and again, I'm doing this on the spot, so hopefully this is actually creating something that makes sense. You're gonna say, create 2 meals of this amount of calories. 1 carb-centric, the other protein and veg, okay? And you can write this on yourself. Create 4 options meal. I cannot write in this shit. Okay. 4 option meal. Carb-centric, 800 calorie. Okay. Carb-centric, sweet potato and black bean burrito. I don't know if I like that. Let me just see. Okay, pasta primavera, zucchini, cherzo. Okay, so protein veggie focus. Okay, pasta primavera, Alfredo. Okay. 800 calorie. For the sake of the calorie amounts that would work, I would love to see more. Okay, make the carb only meals without mixing fat. Chickpeas burrito. Let me just see. Give me the macros. So this tool, of course, is not perfect, but it's getting better, as we know AI. Carb, okay, well, it does make, look at that. It does make a little bit of sense, right? It's like 600 calories, 129 carbohydrates, 23 protein, which is not bad, and then like that. Sometimes you also want to take away even the protein in this case. You would just want to go with fruit, vegetable, dates, whatever. And again, if we do this together, I would actually come up with the choices for you, because based on what I'm hearing from you. Aside from that, this actually makes pretty good sense. Look at that. You can also write the same things. Stop the video writing the same things that I'm doing here. And you want to be doing the same exercise. You want to creating 2 or 3 meals like this, and then now give me the 2 options, veggie and protein. So that would be evening or second meal if you want, if you will. Look at that. Yeah, so this is basically giving you whatever, 600 calories. So you're eating about 1,800 calories, and you can see here, well, it still give you some carbs. But that makes total sense. Like you're eating maybe 12 to 1,500 calories, and you basically finding yourself like that. As you can see, it gives you these things, right? If you want to ask ChatGPT, then show me the recipe and how to cook it, you will do that. He's going to show you exactly how to cook that stuff, right? He's going to tell you instruction or whatever. See, there is no excuse, basically. Like, if you want to do it on yourself, do it. It's not difficult, right? It's not like, it's not something you cannot do. So this is the exercise I want you to do. We've done 3 things over here. We created a deficit. We established that you should be front loading your calorie if possible. You want to be much more in the evening, in the morning. So you can actually say to ChatGPT, it's like, give me let's say you have 1,600 calorie, right? And you say, give me 1,000 to 1,200 calorie, and you can do that like that. I'll do it with you. Make the breakfast 1,200 calories. Same macros like before. You can ask him whatever you want. Like, it's gonna pretty much do something. Yeah. Eggs and protein. Yeah. Okay. Now it's throwing some, but look at that. 0 carb. Well, no, okay. It thinks I said the dinner this way. Make it carb only recipe, 1,200 calories. Look at that. Say what is throwing. Hot meal and fruits. Look at that. Yep. And again, make it palatable for you. Make it palatable. If you want to have something, just like something really sweet, whatever, you can do that. Look at that, 165 carb. This is okay, almond milk, additional stuff, my honey, unsweetened almond milk, whatever, with some banana, mango, whatever. As you see here, is most, and again, you're gonna do that if you actually work out, which we're gonna talk about in the next video, whether it's a video like this or whether I'm going live. I'm gonna tell you what to do. Workout is gonna be very specific again, and we're gonna jump into the challenge, and we're gonna have you workout, and the frequency is the king. So not so many workout like you think when you're losing weight. And the movement is going to be the king. Next week is going to be like a mini step challenge, and this mini step challenge into the challenge. So it's going to be like moving much more, and I'm going to tell you everything about it. Aside from that, we've done really 3 things like that. Understanding that you need to create a deficit, understanding how to make sure that you're creating this deficit. So you need to be able to track food, to know that you're eating that well, because now you got all the information, and now you know what to do, how to cook, whatever. But you need to cook it the way, you need to be able to factor the oil that you're putting in. If you do, you need to remember that sometimes you're going out and sometimes you don't remember necessarily what to do, and you need to know what to do that. Like, so you've done this, front load your calorie, and understood that you need to either put the carb mostly on the daytime and when you work out, and on the evening you can put more towards the vegetable and whatever. Now let's see. Instead, we can also a little bit less option that I put in just to give you a different option if you want. If you prefer to do the breakfast like this, and then in the evening you can say this to ChatGPT: give me a keto-based dinner of 600 calories or more, because 1,200 plus 600, in this case, it will be 500. And he's going to tell you that, you see, look at that, mostly, let me see the composition. No, this is, okay, yeah. It's really more, keto should be more fat and less protein. Make it more fat and less protein. And 0 carb. As you can see here, see how much am I adjusting? That's the heart, is the expertise behind knowing all this stuff. So you can potentially do whatever it says, but then you need to adjust. This is the benefit from actually working together. So this makes more sense, yeah? So it's like this. Creamy spinach and baked cheese. So you can potentially teach your body in the evening to eat more a light breakfast, a light dinner of mostly fat, which is going to teach your body to burn fat on the right amount. On a calorie deficit, burning fat is beneficial, or adding fat is beneficial. And this is also showing you exactly what to do. Creamy spinach, whatever. Yeah, show me instruction. It's going to show you how to cook it and shit like that. Yeah, so it's really good. So it's like, what you're going to do is simple. You're going to do this exercise and you're going to post your recipes throughout the whole challenge. You're eating this, you cook this, you're eating that, you cook that. If we are working together, you're also going to do that. I'm going to instruct you what to do. Hopefully this is helpful. I'm going to be back telling you exactly how to work out.